let me just show you how this all. So this is PokeFarm. As I explained a little earlier a few times in the Hytale stream, as well as the start, I am a PokeFarm ambassador now with my own little code there. You can see in the corner. We have a whole bunch of cool stuff here. Let me just go over some of the things here that we have. They'll just go over the basis of everything here. So like this generally the basis of it. There's some like reviews people have made. Overall a lot of great reviews here. You collect eggs. Here are some of the eggs you can find, and they all custom sprites, so you can get an idea like, oh, what one should I pick? And once you do learn what the eggs are, or you get the egg, it will eventually tell you like what mon it is because you already hatched it. But most of them are pretty explain. They're pretty clear. Like this one's Sunkern, this one's Bond, Sudowoodo, this one's Litten. Um, there's eggs for almost every single Pokemon. I mean, other than like the evolved forms, of course, as well as customs. And when you raise them, so what happens is this explains it here, all this stuff here. But the main way you get it, you can get it through passive as well as through interactions. So you go to someone's field, you click, all right, I'm gonna hold the egg, click that, and there we go. This one boosted the EXP up, and the eggs get their basically hatching time. It was 37. It probably will raise up to 38 or something like that. There's a fake mon. This one's a melanistic. It's different from a shiny. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of cool stuff. Mousehold. It goes all the way up to modern gens. Again, Hydreigon, like a custom ones, like a missing no style. This one is I think it was a locked one, private. And then we have, you can compete with people or cooperate. So play with friends or earn rewards. As the weekly tournaments, as I mentioned. There's leaderboards. You can lock as many exclusive fake mon as well as as I said, Mega Stone Qs, the custom megas. Socialize. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's forums you can talk on, do suggestions, a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Is hunt for rarities, which is the main draw for a lot of people. Is outside of just getting everyone, but also getting the custom forms. So you like, for example, here you get Ninetales Alolan form. Well, you can also get the shiny, of course, which is like the normal games, but there's also an albino form and a melanistic form. I sort of view it like so. As you can see, the arrows here are pointing. This one is a shiny Zat, and then uh, this is like sort of a side to a shiny. But these two combine to make a melanistic, basically. That's the sort of gist of it because you have to get both of these at the same time to get a melanistic. I've amazingly gotten two melanistics like back to back when I was shiny hunting like Tinkaton, which was crazy. But and as you can tell, you see here, you can do it you can play on the web or on browser or no mobile. But and then you could proceed to the lab and start. And usually, as you start, you'll start with your starter Pokemon, and then you would start picking from the lab. Normally, they would start with question marks, but I've been playing this for many years now. And if you don't see them on, you can reload it after the time is up. And I have upgrades that lower the time to reload. But yeah, there's many really custom stuff you can get. There's overtime you buy stuff, and don't worry about these things. So this is the basic credits are when you click on things, you get those. These ones you can get from scours, which are basically uh scours are you send Pokemon out for like a few minutes. Well, I think it's an hour. Yeah, it's an hour for mine. I think it takes longer depending on your upgrades, but over time you do upgrade. It's very easy to upgrade on these things, and you get gold Poke randomly, as well as through events. You get them as through the event stuff. And Zophins, these are the premium currencies you can buy, and there is a subscription thing to help it keep it run as like a donation. You get a whole bunch of bonuses, but you can also get this through the quest systems. So if you go to the task list here, this is where you can get all these credits as well if you do the tasks well. And through the Zophins there is a daily tasks. So I'll explain here. So being online, if you're just on every 5 days, you'll get 10 Zophins. And you can spend that on, say, for example, I'll get to that in a bit, but you can get them on to buy some summoning things. Those are 25 for a seal to make a treasure chest that you get from a scour, uh, a summoning item to get a legendary. So, all these basically get bonus interaction points, medium and bonus gems that whatever from the hatching, and 3 treasure boxes if you complete multiple scours a day or one scour a day, basically. And speaking of that, let's go back to our party now. And as you interact a lot, we have an egg timer here. This boosts the amount of how many EXP you get per idle time. Sorry, I have a like gas a little bit here from the Mountain Dew I'm drinking. But you get a bonus of the EXP, like it lowers the time of idle EXP as well as it boosts the amount of EXP when you get clicked on. So it hurries that up. And since this is the first of the day, we are hatching. This is one of the regional forms of the site, which is a bonfire ghastly. Oh, and look at that. We just got ourselves a albino ghastly. Hell yeah. And that's the sort of like I have my shiny charm on and my albino radar. So the albino radar helped boost that odd to get that. So that was really cool. I would just show you guys that. That was all by chance. I mean, my odds for that are like, it's high since I have my radar up set high, but I can now move all these guys over. Like my Pokedex is almost completely done. Well, not almost, but like, for example, here I'm almost at the Grandmaster, and I have to get that up to 1,413. 1,413. Well, my current is this. This is the pain. I've done the egg stuff. Well, that's pretty easy for me, but it's like the evolution stuff is annoying a little bit. At least for me. So I'm gonna move this into my where is it? Into my fancy hatches. I haven't made a one specifically for it. But here's my melanistic Eliza. So I got it from, this gives you a good information of how I got it, where I got it. But so this was an egg bred in the daycare. This was during one of the, which was a steel hunting time for a type race. And it was released in the daycare at the time. I adopted it because I needed more. I hatched it, and my shiny, I got the random chance of multiple item things here, and things, as well as my albino radar, plus all these other boosts, because all these up here are daily boosts. And as you're boosting stuff, people all over the whole site makes these happen. So currently, Novinchan is activated because a lot of people were buying stuff through credits, and now there's a 1% discount for purchases using credits. So upcoming, we'll probably be getting the Garthic boost, which is, I think it'll boost interaction points, as well as Shazzy's shelter adoptions will boost our adoptions. This one is probably as well as Shinies hatched as well. We'll get boosted in shiny chances. But there's a whole bunch of other things. I could go over a lot of stuff here. Like here's the scours that I mentioned earlier. So if you retrieve these, all right. So we get berries. Berries are the most common things you can get. You also can get credits. They all have their own interesting thing. Oh, apparently, yep, see mission. But you can do, say, for this example, I'll do a new mission here to show you. So when you do a new mission, you have 6 of them, and when you first try doing a scour, you want to play around to see which ones they can find, what they like, dislike. I always do the liked ones. I think there's really no benefit of doing a non-like one, other than maybe like there's different items in different areas. But if you have enough mons, you can generally just spread them out and find one that has what they like. But yeah, I use all my fancy mons in it for scour, so I have all my albinos, and I sometimes put my my melanistics. I can't really talk today, apparently. But yeah, let's do the same mission for him. And the same mission for her. But other than that, I have my daycare mons here. So how I got that that Gengar or not the Gengar, Ghastly, the melanistic, or not melanistic, but man, I can't speak right now. The albino bonfire Ghastly. There we go. Is I had a Gengar. You can have it in I think any Gengar line. You have to have them holding a Firestone, and that will help boost your odd. And so for here, because I have my Ditto here and my Gengar, it breaks it down to this. So to have the base breakdown, and it gives you all the information that you need. So similar type, similar species. It was traded. There's a boost there. And then you have the modified types, which I have the boost item and the level gap. And then obviously then that all equals to the percentages of chance of how many interactions will boost the breeding process. And when you hits the max of the breeding cycle process, you're going to get either one of those, one of the three of No Egg, Ghastly, or Ghastly Bonfire. With that though, so there's other things to progress here. So for example, here we have the Wish Forge. So the Wish Forge option thing is to a continuing progression on your icons here. These are all basically like your progression in the website and how many eggs you're hatching and all that level of stuff. So this is more so for your personal, and you can see this on your profile. Let me get to my profile here. So here's my profile. I have, I have the PFQ ambassador thing here. I have my information. And then I have some custom CSS stuff here. So it says, welcome to my PokeFarm Cube profile. I'm AlizarinRed, a graphic designer, streamer, YouTuber, game dev, and more. I started my PokeFarm back in 2020 and have been on and off. Got that egg cracking edition again, so here I am in the big ol', I should update that, 2026. Then I have my all internal links, and this is like all HTML, CSS stuff. But I have like custom stuff, so here's my hatches, like my prize hatches I have. My albino Mega Zoroark, which is one that you can get if you want to hatch your Mon. Tycho is their name. And I love Tycho. And then my melanistic Tinkaton was my first melanistic, which was really cool. As well as my very first shiny on it, which was Noivern. So, very cool stuff. And as I was saying with the badges, these basically go onto your trainer card. Do note, the trainer and the trainer card stuff is apparently getting an update in the future. Same with the shelter. I will go over the shelter. So this is to be a late into the into this year where they're updating the shelter and migrating all these features over to the lab. So while you're here, if you start early, you can start using the shelter. The shelter is a really good way to start it. But once you get like, so for example, these gold pokies are really useful for getting the flutes. The flutes just allow you to see all the eggs in the shelter at this time, or you get the white one, you just want to see Pokemon to get. Personally, I would rather going for the eggs because the eggs get you both the Mon and the egg that you haven't hatched yet. But it is cool like that. Fishing is another mechanic here that you can try. It's pretty cool. So let me, for example, let me buy some bait here. Purchase. Let me collect my free 20. All right, and since I got the freshwater bait, we're going to hit the river, which is freshwater. And let's hit the spot A. So a lot of these mechanics here are getting like a refresh. Because one of the main things was originally this had a lot more like a nicer UI in the past. But when they updated it to support mobile, a lot of it at the time systems for CSS and all that for browsers wasn't as up to date. And let's give it some bait. And at the time, they had to basically make it very simple. Throw a rock, and then throw a ball. Ah, dang it, broke out. Alright, let's try spot B. But they are planning on updating this as well as the garden to be a lot more visually interesting, more engaging, stuff like that. Let's try just throwing a ball. A lot of time the Magikarp will just get caught. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, you can get Mon through that. There's a bunch of other ways you can get them through that. The garden is getting an overhaul as well. Right now, it's just basically a menu. So put some of my rare berries in here. Let me put a bunch of enigmas. Just put the same berry. They're gonna be like they're overhauling a lot of this, like to make this. There was a recent video they were just showing it all. So fill up all that, and then plant another one. Which one do I have low of? Chesto. Yes. Oh my God, don't ask me. All right, there we go. Got all those, and then we can just water them all. Yeah, none need it right now. Okay. What else I can show? Yeah, let me just adopt a shelter here. So let me find a ghastly just to give it the show. So we can go here, adopt. All right, so we got the ghastly, and then since we got that, we go over here, show this, and we can fill the party of my daycare eggs. And voila. So outside of that, we have the fields here. This is where you keep all your Pokemon that you want to keep. I have throwaway farms. I could have some offload for while I'm breeding. I have all my legendaries as well, so you can like see them all. I doubled up on a lot of them. Some of them are custom. Well, actually, none of them. I haven't put any custom mons in here, other than there's like the Miss Magius Rayquaza, and I think Lugia as well, or not Lugia, Dark Lugia. But here are some of the fake mons. Let me align in grid so you can see them. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of cool custom mons. You're not a fake mon. I have to move them out later. Yeah, there's a bunch of cool guys. A lot of dupes. And then we have some unique forms and fusions, which are cool. And then a custom sprite design. So these ones are... So this is a sort of cool little thing they have. So it's a custom sprite, or refers to like it's based on a mon that exists in the game, but it has a custom sprite. It's very simple, straightforward. These are more so either event related, or like you if you really like it, you can purchase it with I believe Zilfans or the gold in one of these shop things. That happens like once, I think once a month maybe, or once a week that the shopping appears. I can't remember the time frame on that, but it does appear. It's just a custom sprite that you can just show off, brag, I guess. Here's all my like albinos, very cool. I really like my ghastly here. I love the coloring on that. There are Deltamons as well. So here's some Deltas I had a shiny. This one was I got as in a raffle because after a type race happens, people will donate any mons that they didn't like during they hatched they didn't need, or it was like a duplicate, and they will provide that to a raffle. And at the end of the type race, anyone who wants to enter into it, even if they don't gift anything, they will be put into the raffle for how many eggs they hatched for the whole thing. And the more eggs you hatched, the more points you get. I mean, the more you will have a chance of getting stuff. So here's a bunch of Delta. Most of these, I literally got out of the shelter because I don't really do Delta hunting. Some of them were from the type races as well, but very cool though. And here was my melons. I got two Tinkatons. They were back to back basically. I don't know why I have them in here, considering they're the fairy, they hate it here. Whatever. Breeding, I have to go through and breed like a lot of these months. I want to try to get more like the Zoroark ones. I want to get like a cool one for them. And then I have Ennies, and these are all sorted by berries of what they like. I do want to eventually split the mons for their like regional thing, but that's gonna take forever to do, so it takes a while. And Totem tomorrow is just for totem mons. I do have a few. I have this guy's a totem already. This one's a totem. It's a custom totem too. They're just larger sprites, which are very cool. Is one a totem yet? No. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff. And let's see what else. I just want to show you guys everything here that I can. Oh yeah, for the Pokédex, this one is where you keep track of how far in progress. And so I already got all the eggs in Kanto, all the eggs in Johto, all the eggs in Hoenn. I almost got all of Sinnoh's. I got all of Unovas. I got all of Kalos's. Alolas will be harder because all the Ultra Beasts. I got all the Gaolars. I got all the Paldeas. And currently, I'm working on a lot of like the variants as well as the exclusives. So those are my currently I'm working on. A lot of these ones are like related to like alt forms and megas. So that's why a lot of these are lower. But I am eventually getting to them. Um, but yeah, my progress has been going pretty well on this. This takes a while, especially when you're on and off a lot. Um, Outside of that, I think that's basically. Oh well, I mean, I could go over the market here to explain some of this as well. This for when you want to say you want to buy stuff. So even some of the premium stuff that say for you buying with soul finds and you don't want to wait the every day you get 10 or every week you get 10 basically or every 5 days really. People will tend to sell this stuff and you can buy that with the credits. So for example, account upgrades. Some of this stuff, let's see, the shiny charm is one I think you can only get with Zofin. Let me just double check real quick. Shiny charm, yeah, you only for 200 Zofins. That's pretty hefty for some people. But if you go over here, and if you just want to click a lot, get your stuff, and want to get a shiny charm, you can buy it for 1 million. And honestly, 1 million isn't that much, considering. So, for example, I am currently selling some Z crystals. Which one do I have being sold right now? I think I'm selling the firearm. Yeah. Well, I don't have it sold yet, so you can sell these for 520. So you can literally buy one of those paid things relatively cheap after getting a Firearm Z. And Firearm Zs or any of these crystals you can get through type races when you're just commit to hatching a lot of eggs. And usually, if your team does really well, you can get like 5 or 6 of them, among other things. So you can basically get these premium items relatively easy. So you're not just locked into like, oh man, everything's locked into being paid and all that. No, it's the only real thing that I think is locked technically in paid is the custom sprites, which are more so just bragging rights. It's like, oh yeah, I got this rare sprite that they sold at this point in time and they haven't sold it again yet, or they might return it eventually, stuff like that. Um, and that's just a bragging right thing. And it's only happens every once in a while, and a lot of times they will bring back for especially for holiday related mons. You can bring them back, or they bring them back. I mean, and you'll be able to get them. For example, here the wrestling rival in Sonora. This one it was a referral bonus, so this is gonna go into the referral thing that you apply. So eventually, as you progress, and getting the referral fully done, you get an option to pick between 2 Pokemon. And they are basically like pairs, and one person gets one of the sprites, and you get that one. So it's basically you pair together as like sort of sister sprites. Um, the other person got the Halucha, which was dressed as a Incineroar. Well, I got the Incineroar dressed as Halucha. So that sort of thing. It's very cool like that. There's also another one that I got, which was a purple what's it called? I mean, I got technically 2 of them. 2 people picked the same exact one they wanted. Oh, what's the name of that Pokemon? Kecleon. I got a purple Kecleon. So, I think that's everything now. I think basically explored everything. I mean, there's Pokerus. Pokerus is basically every 15 minutes, someone gets it on their team. You click it, and because you clicked them, each one gives you more chance to get Pokerus for the next uh for the next 15 minutes. And of course, because clicking on the Pokerus, it boosts your percentage of how much EXP you get per click, as well as everyone's trying to click on you. So it's a huge EXP boost. So it's very worth it. Pokemon of the day boosts the shiny chance, so you can always do that. And V Wave boosts the EXP gained through that type of mon as well. So there's a lot more. There's a lot of depth in this website. You can spend so much time and still learn new things. It's very much worth exploring and having fun while doing it. I think with that though, I will call it an end for tonight. I do appreciate you all for stopping by. I just wanted to explain this because this is a really cool website, and you don't need to put money into it. You can literally be a free user if you really wanted to. Um, I've only ever played for the subscription stuff every once in a while, mostly just because I wanted to get like say a custom sprite, or I wanted to get a bonus of some treasure chests and stuff like that. So I do think it is 100% so much fun. The community is so great. The forums is great. They have a Discord. Um, so much, and everyone is so nice and like accommodating on it. People will like send you free items randomly. Some people will click your whole party and your whole farm just for because they want to. It's honestly such a very amazing community, and I'm happy to be a part of it and being an ambassador of it as well. So, with that, uh, what? One second, I'm trying to move my layer up here for my end scene because it was under this. But yeah, with that, I wish you all a good night, and I appreciate you all for stopping by. If you have, just chilling in chat or not, or watching the VOD, I do appreciate y'all. This is sort of like the first little like test run, not really a test run. This is like the full run at this point, but of basically my VTuber model and such. So I'm very happy. I mean, I technically could do hand tracking, but it's very janky. Vinyan, whatever I think that's how you say it, is not exactly too well with the hand tracking yet. I mean, I don't know if maybe it's me with my hands being very weird. Not my hands, but you know what I mean. Um, but yeah, with that out of the way though, I wish you all a good night and bye bye.